Hi again, GallusSapien. Um, the idea of Squeedlebump creating the universe, whether a Squeedlebump is a gaseous cloud or a two-headed guy, um, the fact remains that there is some kind of uh, material composition, material organization there. However, matter is something that exists within the universe. So it couldn't be the creator of matter cannot be composed of matter. Um, then you spoke of the possibility of infinite regresses. Well, that's not really possible. Like you said that time could be cyclical. Well, even if time is cyclical, uh, you have to come to the end of a causal regress if you're going to explain the final effect. Um, if you have a check, you write a check, and the check is going to bounce, so you write another check from another bank to cover that check, but that check is going to bounce as well. Eventually, you have to get a check that's not going to bounce, or the final check is going to bounce. So there has to be some sort of ultimate cause at some point. Even if the universe is eternally old, then the the causal regress ending with the uh, current state of the universe is going to have to stop somewhere. Um, let's see, what else did you mention? Uh, oh yes, the supernatural. You say the supernatural has been disproven. Um, I think what you're getting at here is the idea of natural explanations being found for what was previously viewed as supernatural. So um, Houdini, visited the spiritist and found that there was smoke and mirrors and so on. Um, well, that that doesn't prove that uh, you can't. The idea of the supernatural is that it goes beyond the natural. It's more than natural. So you have one level of reality. I guess you could put it this way. You have one level of reality which is natural, and another level of reality which is supernatural. So it's presupposing if you believe in the supernatural, you're going to believe in the natural as well. Um, the at least on the Christian view of the supernatural. So I think to find natural explanations for phenomena, that's what a supernaturalist would expect to find. But not everything can be explained by appeal to natural phenomena, by appeal to physical material reality. Um, the truths of mathematics, for example, uh, that is non-material, non-physical. Yet we know that 2 plus 2 equals 4. If 2 means what it normally means and plus and equals mean what they normally mean, uh, it's undeniable that 2 plus 2 equals 4, but this can't be proved. That can't be proved in a laboratory. So um, not everything is natural or material, um, provable by science in principle. So once we admit there's an immaterial reality in the mathematical realm, um, we can be more open to the possibility of intelligent agents that are immaterial, namely God, immaterial minds. And uh, uh, Another example would be things like love. If one person loves another person, there's nothing in physics and chemistry alone that can explain that. Um, you may be able to explain feeling, having a desire to procreate with a member of the opposite sex. You may be able to explain a feeling that two people get when they're in love. But to actually love another person, that's outside the realm of physics and chemistry, which seems to be what you have reduced reality to. So uh, the strictly natural is not enough to explain things like love. Um, so the as I was saying a moment ago, to have natural explanations for something is not a defeater of the possibility of the supernatural. It confirms the possibility of the supernatural. Um, so on materialism or on theism, there's going to be uh, natural explanations of natural phenomena. So it doesn't argue against the supernatural one bit. So the yeah. So what else did we say? Let's see. I'm doing this unscripted, as you can tell, and I always get into trouble when I try to speak. Excuse me, without reading off of the script. Kind of mumble a bit. Let's see. Infinite redresses are impossible. You brought up in the second response video about the God of the gaps, but again, that's a caricature that skeptics have that they impose on theist on their theistic opponents in a debate. Um, it's not something that theists actually use. Now there may be people who have said, well, there's these fairy rings and they were caused by fairies. Uh, there may be people who have explained lightning as one of the gods throwing spears and really intended that to be taken seriously. However, the modern educated uh, Christian uh, is going to know that God is the author of the laws of nature, but he's not directly throwing a lightning bolt with his hand. Um, so it's not the view that is commonly attributed to modern day Christian apologists, that they uh, comb through scientific literature looking for something that's unknown and plug God into it. That's not what we do. We know that if we wed ourselves to the spirit of the age, in the age to come, that will defeat our arguments. And incidentally, I was just reading in this a rule book for arguments. There's actually a fallacy, like a formal name for God of the gap kinds of fallacies, um, which I forget now what it's called. But anyway, um, it's more general than God of the gaps, but it's that kind of faulty reasoning that has a name, which I was unaware of until today when I read it in that book. All right, I guess that's all I can think of at the moment of the points you brought up. Yeah, so I hope that fleshes out more of where I'm coming from, my perspective.